Welcome to the 34th podcast episode of the Veranda Financing Podcast. Before I get started, please subscribe to this podcast and provide a review. By doing this, you ensure that you will hear each episode as soon as it comes out. Also, by rating the episodes, it will ensure that others who will benefit from this podcast will actually see it. Today is a very exciting episode. As a banker for many years, I've become used to the question regarding questions and chances of approval. People ask me, how do I get approved for a loan? Well, I think the real question is, how do I avoid getting denied? So today I included 5 reasons why you might get denied for a bank loan. So number 1 is bad credit. Bad credit will automatically put you in a rejection pile at a traditional commercial bank. The key is to get your credit score in the 700s and above. So if you know you will be borrowing money soon, work on your credit score pronto. You can improve your credit by paying off debt, decreasing your credit card balances, and paying your debt on time or early. Number 2 is you may lack sufficient cash flow. Banks want to know that you can pay your existing debt as well as your proposed debt. And banks tend to measure your cash flow by a mathematical ratio such as debt service coverage ratio or debt to income. These ratios tell banks how much cash you have available to pay your debt and how much you have left over. A key way to improve your chances is to pay down your existing debt and or increase your debt. Increasing your income, So a key way to improve your chances is to pay down your existing debt and or increasing your income. So number 3, another one is not enough collateral. Banks like to know that if anything goes wrong, they can recover the debt that is owed to them. So if the collateral you are borrowing against isn't worth anything, there's a good chance that the answer may just be no. If you ever bought a home, banks lend against homes with the loan to values of at least 80%. That cushion is there for the cost and time it takes for the bank to liquidate the asset. Number 4, not enough years in business. It's been said that it's better to have an okay business idea with an outstanding management versus an outstanding business idea with an okay team. Execution is what makes a business do very well. Banks may look at your application and turn you down because they don't believe you have the experience to get the job done. And the learning curve may be detrimental to your business. And lastly, your industry just may be too risky or may be out of the bank's lending wheelhouse. You know that saying, he's just not into you. In this situation, banks just aren't into your industry. Let's face it, every bank has that list, which is a prohibited list of industries they lend to. If you're a restaurant startup, there is a good chance that your neighborhood commercial bank will say no. Also, some banks do not lend to home-based businesses or check cashing stores. I've worked at banks where there's a whole list of 20 or so industries that we do not lend to. So before you go through with your application, just make sure that the bank you are approaching actually lends to customers in your industry. Here at Veranda Financing, I work with various financial institutions, and they each have their own industries that they lend to and those that they are prohibited to lending to. So based on their risk profile or past experiences with that industry, I've noticed that some banks aren't even lending to golf courses anymore. So in review, 5 reasons you may get denied a traditional bank loan is 1, bad credit. 2, you lack sufficient cash flow. 3, you don't have enough collateral. 4, you may not have enough years in business. And 5, your industry may just be too risky for that particular bank. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Veranda Financing Podcast. If you did, please leave a review. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like to get more tips and resources, follow Veranda Financing on Instagram or also visit us at www.verandafinancing.com for more ways I can help you finance your business. Remember, your business dreams can come true when you meet, finance, and grow. God bless.